Now here is question number 51 everyone. Assertion: when variable frequency of source is connected to capacitor, the displacement current increases on increasing the frequency. Assertion seems to be true because we know that the displacement current ID is given by epsilon naught d phi by dt. Now if frequency increases, then rate of flux increases, so therefore ID is also increases. Frequency increases, rate of flux change increases, therefore ID increases. So assertion is true. Now let's talk about the reason. As frequency increases, conduction current decreases. We know very well conduction current IC is always displacement current, so that's why reason goes wrong, assertion is true. We can go through option number 3, which is absolutely correct. Now move on to the next, that is 52 number. So here is question number 52 everyone. Assertion: when capacitive reactance is smaller than the inductive reactance in series LCR circuit, the voltage leads the current. Now the circuit will be predominantly, when it will be capacitive, when it will be, it depends upon the fact that if VL is greater than VC, then what will happen? XL will greater than XC. Circuit will be what? Inductive, predominantly inductive. And if VC is greater than VL, definitely XC will be greater than XL. Circuit will be predominantly capacitive. In case of inductive, what will happen? Current always lags, voltage leads. So in case of inductive, V leads. On the other hand, in case of capacitive, current leads. So therefore, once again, let us back on assertion: when capacitive reactance is smaller than inductive reactance in series LCR circuit, the voltage leads. Absolutely true. So we can go for A, where A is true. Now let's talk about the reason. In series LCR circuit, capacitive reactance may be greater than the inductive reactance. Yes, this is also possible. So reason is also true, but the explanation is not correct. Reason is not explaining the assertion. So that's why we can go with option number 2, which is absolutely correct. Now move on to the next, that is 53 number. So here is question number 53 everyone. Assertion: the diffusion current and drift current both are 0 in PN junction when unbiased. We know very well, in case of unbiased PN junction, the drift current and diffusion current, they actually flow, but they are opposite and equal in magnitude, constituting 0 value of current. So that's why assertion is wrong, because it has mentioned that both diffusion current and drift current are 0, which is not correct. Now let's talk about the reason. On biasing, potential barrier of PN junction always increases. So if we bias the potential barrier, then the width of depletion layer, the width of barrier potential is actually depending upon the type of biasing. If it is forward bias, then depletion layer width will be decreased, and if it is reverse biased, then depletion layer width will be increased. So barrier potential increases if reverse biased, and barrier potential decreases if forward biased. So reason is also wrong, because it has written here that always increases, because it depends on situation whether it is reverse or forward. So both assertion and reason are false. We can go with option number 4. Now move on to the next, that is 54 number. So here is question number 54 everyone. Assertion: if vector r is position vector and t is time, then the dimension formula of dr by dt is lt minus 1. Dr, small change in position dt, small time interval. So dr will have dimension formula L, dt will have dimension formula T. So their dimensional formula will be LT minus 1. Absolutely true. Assertion is true. Now let's talk about the reason. First derivative of position vector with respect to time gives velocity vector, not acceleration vector. So reason is wrong. Assertion true, reason wrong. Option number 3 we have to go with. Now move on to the next, that is 55 number. So here is question number 55, everyone. Newton's second law is valid in non-inertial and inertial frame of references in the same form. We know very well, students, that in non-inertial frame a pseudo force is applied on the particle to apply Newton's laws of motion. It means assertion goes wrong, because in non-inertial frames, or you can write accelerated frames, pseudo force is applied to write Newton's second law of motion. Therefore, assertion is wrong. Let's talk about the reason. Newton's third law is valid only in non-inertial frame of references. Newton's third law is valid everywhere, so reason is also wrong. We can go with option number 4, which is absolutely correct. Move on to the next, that is 56 number.